Khaz Algar is the fallen world tree of Elun'Alor? The War Within? What is he talking about? What, Khaz Algar, isn't that the new zone we're going to in the next expansion? It's a fallen world tree? I don't know, man. What's Doran cooking here? Let's find out.
I know what you're thinking. Khaz Algar seems like a cool place, but no one is like super excited for just a new island, like this time with underground zones. But what if I told you Khaz Algar is so much more than that, potentially the most important place on Azeroth? We recently learned the first ever world tree was planted upon old god corruption and then ripped out by Elun'Alor, leaving only roots and a crater. Well,
Right.
Khaz Algar is not only a crater, but we have actually seen giant roots upon old god corruption in the deepest layer from the official trailer, meaning we might be going inside Eluna here, the world tree destroyed by the Titans. However, it's even crazier than that. Khaz Algar is the chamber of the world soul, and there is evidence that every single cosmological force has been trying to force its way here all throughout history, from obviously
that's
Void
evident.
to life in the Elune and her world tree, to obviously the Titans, to the Naru flinging this light shot, to Sargeras probably trying to stab this place but missing and hitting Silitus instead, that is right next door. I know. Quite a bit of crazy info, but let's dig into it because Khaz Algar may be so much more exciting than it appears on first glance.
I love the way
If you
Khaz
guys
Algar
wanna buy
looks.
Total War, Elder Scrolls, or any other game, you can get them at great prices with my Gamivo link. You can also get anything Warcraft related, gift cards, and software,
Yeah, well,
and all below
we're dealing a lot with
Best
world
of all,
trees lately.
add my code Doran, you can get
Use
an
code
even bigger
Doran.
discount, so make sure to
code
check out
Doran.
my link in the description and get some amazing deals with Gamivo.
There you go. If you don't remember, like I said before, one of the old god lines from N'Zoth that talks about roots growing deeper and deeper. So I really think world trees in general have something to do with old gods coming, attaching the world, the Emerald Dream to this world, all that stuff. There's a bunch of attachments here, and we haven't fully figured them out yet.
You all know what Khaz Algar is, this fissure that the Titan Keepers could send an expedition to, and then the Zertan became a part of it, yada yada. That is all the super
Mount
surface
Hyjal's another
information,
thing.
like literally surface information, and that is okay, but nothing exactly mind-blowing that you can't wait to play this expansion. But what if I told you that it is so much crazier than that, and there is a reason this expansion is called The War Within, and it's not because we're going underground to fight Nerubians, but that this place is the past battlefield and a potentially future battlefield of all the cosmological forces. Before we go, crazy on speculation.
I also think it's called the War Within because, Anduin's having his internal struggles, within. The War Within, it's touchy-feely stuff.
Let's immediately just start with facts. You might remember that in 10.2, as we got into the Emerald Dream, we had discovered a book called The Legend of Eluna here about the ancient world tree. I know, immediately you might not exactly want to hear about yet another world tree, seeing as we just dealt with one, it wasn't too exciting, but let me just give you the gist
World
of it
of
so
Trees,
that you know
guys.
why this is super relevant to the
World of
story
Treecraft.
of the entire World Soul saga. This document seems to be written from a Titan biased perspective, as it calls them brave and all the propaganda, but it gives us a quick glimpse into their sinister side as well, sort of unintentionally. So, Black Empire was destroying Azeroth, the old gods almost completely corrupted Azeroth, and the Titans then came in. Now, Eonar, the Titan, and Elune, the Titan of Life Pantheon,
I hope not,
had
Rain.
a special bond, and they together figured that if they plant a giant world tree, just like the one in the Emerald Dream, they can heal the darkness, and that the influence of life can actually destroy the void corruption. Well, the roots set deep, and Eluna here was created, the very first world tree on Azeroth, created by the Titans through Elune. Then Elun'Alor...
Look, I think the whole world tree thing, I think the old gods want to wake up Azeroth or get her out of her stasis or slumber or whatever she's in. The Emerald Dream, that's what it's meant to do. That's what it's seeming like, is that it was, it's a dream meant to keep Azeroth asleep. And she's dreaming, having a good time, thinking everything's okay because all she's seeing is the Emerald Dream. Then she stays asleep. But by bringing this world tree into our world, we've essentially anchored the Emerald Dream in our plane of existence. Bringing it that much closer to like a waking state. So waking up Azeroth. I think that the old gods probably wanted us to do that. Like I said, N'Zoth talks about roots growing deeper and deeper, bringing her awakening and stuff like that. That's all about this. That's what we're doing. We're fucking shit up. Every time we think we're doing the right thing, we're probably not.
The Titan guy came in, was blown away. He was pissed that this had nothing to do with order. He considered life inherently chaotic. He said you infested this world with uncontrolled chaos, and the guy just came in, grabbed the trunk, and ripped out the entire tree. Elun'Alor wept, and her tears rained down upon the crater as she realized she doesn't share the same vision as Elun'Alor. Elun'Alor then told her keeper Freya to watch over the crater and nurture life, but the tears had made the roots of Elun'Alor strong. Eventually, unknown guardians came in, took over these roots, and this is where the story ends. Now, small digression here, but I just love how Elun'Alor just Hulk smashes whatever he doesn't like, so like, screw this old god.
I actually didn't know that about Angora
as well
Crater.
as your stupid world tree. However, let me tell you why I'm like 99% certain that this is actually Khaz Algar, and that we're literally going inside the world tree Elun'Alor. So, first of all, the most obvious thing, literally just check out the preview of the underground zones from the official trailer they had shown us of the underground zones. You can see giant roots together with what looks like old god-infested flesh together with it. Remember, the tree was planted
I think
on
he might be
top
right.
of old god corruption. Also, remember what we were told on BlizzCon? This place where we're going to is like the heart chamber of the world's soul, like the most important place. Now, stay with me as this goes even deeper, so much deeper, like literally deeper. We got the observational report Earthen, and I don't want to bore you with the details, you have heard this a million times. However, we were told these Earthen were sent to investigate a fissure crater called Sector AR-938. They turned into dwarven-like Earthen, eventually naming it Khaz Algar, which is now the continent we're going to. What I want to state is that the document says at a later point, unknown guardians came in. Also, do you remember how Blizzard told us that these Earthen are split into various factions? Like, one of them are more dedicated to the Titan mission, some less so. So, I would say they might have figured out about the Elun'Alor and Elun'Alor split in the ancient past, and they decided to actually guard the roots instead of following what would have probably been the order of Elun'Alor, and that is to completely destroy them and to seal this fissure, as they were sent by...
Yeah, I think he wanted the roots destroyed because he realized they were part of the old god plan. I mean, here's the lines I'm talking about. With many eyes they will see again. They will drink and be uplifted. Deeper, deeper its roots will reach, welcoming our embrace. Her dreams sing beneath the surface. Our dreams, our song. I mean, everyone talks about Azeroth sounding like she's, you know, her voice is a song or something, right? And the Emerald Dream, her dreams sing beneath the surface. The roots growing deeper. All this stuff seems connected. And maybe Elun'Alor knew that. That's why he wanted the roots, you know, ripped out.
The keepers as like a repair crew of sorts. Obviously their initial mission was to solve this, not to create their own culture around it and to live here for like thousands of years. One of the other theories people are talking about is that the Nerubians could have been these mysterious guardians as well, which, as you may remember, they were just transformed into the bad guys by Xal'atath, and they're also referred to as the children of the first flesh, more than likely, so something could be...
I wonder if she's corrupting them. I don't think she is, because Nerubians, like, historically are very... resistant to corruption. Like, one of the things about the Lich King fighting the Nerubians, and one reason why he fought so hard against them was because they were very adept to fighting against the plague and everything. It was very hard for him to corrupt them. He couldn't, essentially. So he really just had to fight them head on and wipe them out and then bring them back. That was like a very hard thing for him to do. So I wonder if she's corrupting them, or maybe they chose to join her side. Maybe she convinced them. That's probably more likely.
Going on with them as well. However, that is a topic for another video. Let me present to you something that might entirely explain why the expansion is going to be called The War Within, and this might just be exactly why this expansion could be so much more interesting than just random underground island with 4 zones. So, what we know for certain, as this is what Blizzard confirmed, and that is that Khaz Algar is the closest place we have to the world soul of Azeroth, like the chamber to reach her. This is not actually speculation. Now, Khaz Algar has descending zones, one under the other, with the lowest of them being the Nerubian Kingdom, where we can actually...
Right, they call it a vertical expansion. Yeah.
served the roots of supposedly Eluna here. Now, what if this is the place where all the cosmological forces battled the so-called war within, the secret war that no one knew about on Azeroth? Just check out the timeline. So we obviously had the old god corruption, the Black Empire. Based on the fact that Elun'Alor decided to plant a tree here, let's say that Khaz Algar was like the epicenter of this corruption, so why choose this place out of any other place on Azeroth? So obviously the Void came first and infested it. Then Elune comes next. Remember, previous hints confirmed that Elune is like the titan of the life force, like how the eternal ones from the Shadowlands are the dead titan, Elune is a life one. All of them are hinted to have been created within those Xeraths. It was even recently hinted that the titans were created in Xerath Orders and that they're not actually born from world souls, as they seem to claim. What if Elune manipulated Elun'Alor to plant the force of life inside this corruption, explaining how this is going to help, and she obviously agrees. So next, life had infested this place. Then Amatul came in as a being of order, and he realized that she got bamboozled by Elune, the life titan, so he just ripped it out. He didn't particularly do something here, but he set up a whole worldwide prison, a huge system. You can check out the previous video on that, how he explains everything. However, the titans did later send their servants to seal this fissure. They didn't infest it because they had essentially infested the entire planet as they managed to conquer the entire place. So obviously, then the force of order came in. Then comes the light. Based on the info about the humans that came here, this happened about a few thousand years ago. They might have invaded with the light shard. This shard is very narrow-like. It is located in Hellowfall, just one layer above the lowest layer, but they didn't quite succeed. But this invasion is what eventually drew the humans in. So the light attempted to infest this place as well. Then Sargeras came a few thousand years later and just
another death knight.
Reign of Realms, thank you for the sub, man. Oh, who gifted? Somebody gifted a sub? Oh, thank you, Deadric. Thank you for gifting the sub to Rain. I appreciate that. Was it? Wait a minute. He's saying Sargeras was aiming at the new zone that we're going to, but he missed?
Bad Silitus. However, based on where Khaz Algar is, aka super close to Silitus, I think it is pretty safe to say he might have been aiming for Khaz Algar and instead just missed, aka this order fell had also infested Khaz Algar. So that only leaves us with one singular force that we don't have any evidence of around Khaz Algar, and that is death. However, we still know so little of what we will be seeing there, and as you may know, not only the Natris but the Dreadlords are also relevant and could realistically return at any moment. When you look at it this way, 5 out of 6 forces attempted to brute force their way into the Chamber of the World Soul, or to even...
Did he say aimed at someone or something? I don't remember exactly what Thrall said, but he definitely made a hint at what that sword was supposed to be aimed at.
Essentially break the prison the World Soul is in. All of this is essentially going underground, aka the war within. Now, of course, this part is speculation, but what seems quite likely is that the roots of Luna here are actually present between Khaz Algar, and that this is the origin of the fissure, but this tree was planted upon old god corruption that was already there, so realistically, we're looking at like the heart of Azeroth, then a ton of old god infrastructure on top, and then a world tree connected to the Emerald Dream, ripped out with a fissure, and then inhabited by these humans and the Earthen. That definitely makes Khaz Algar much more than yet another island hidden in some mists, and I think it holds secrets of big cosmological significance for the entire World Soul saga. Thank you for watching. Check out why Azeroth is literally a prison by clicking on the screen, and check out my video on ancient Greek colonies in Spain by also clicking on the screen as well. See you next time.
Yeah, I definitely think like it would make sense that this new area is, you know, part of an old world tree. Now hinting at like what a world tree would be used for the old gods for. Like I said, I feel like the old gods have always had this goal of waking up Azeroth or bringing her out from whatever she's trapped in. I feel like that's always been the old god's goal. That's what the Emerald Nightmare, someone mentioned it in chat. What is a nightmare? What does a nightmare do? You know, when you're having a good dream, what happens when you're sleeping and you're having a good dream? Usually you stay asleep, right? What does a nightmare oftentimes do? If you have a bad nightmare, usually it wakes you up. That's why I think the whole Emerald, the nightmare was created by the old gods. It was their attempt at trying to wake up Azeroth. That was their goal, and that was why they created it. Now, maybe that goal didn't work. Maybe something happened where, you know, obviously we fought in the Emerald Dream with the Nightmare and all that. We did that stuff. We pushed it back. So what's another way to wake you up? Maybe tether your dream to the real world. Kind of like somebody tapping you on the shoulder or something to wake you up, you know, when the real world interferes with your dream. What are we doing by bringing a world tree from the Emerald Dream into our world? We're tethering that dream to our world, bringing it that much closer to reality, potentially waking her up. This is saying the old gods want to wake her up. That's what I think. Why? I don't know. Maybe they want to corrupt her and then wake her up. Maybe there's a plan for that. I guess we'll have to find out. Wait and see. But good video. Interesting one from Doran.